Well, it's important to come to an attorney and help you with the ticket, or you don't want it going on your insurance. You don't want it raising your rates, especially if you drive for a living, you have a commercial driver's license or something like that, to jeopardize your career. It'd be better if the law were self-explanatory and you wouldn't need somebody that understood the court rules and understood the RCW and all that and how they interact with each other. But the reality is it's not that way. It's a little more complex than it would seem on its face. I think a lot of the time people don't understand that an infraction is separate from a crime, so that the rules of criminal evidence don't actually apply to an infraction. An infraction is a civil matter, and it's important to separate civil law from criminal law and not act as though an infraction case is going to be handled the same way as a criminal case would be handled. For example, you don't have a right to an attorney provided by the state for a civil hearing as you would for a criminal case. I think part of it is if there's all the information that there is access to for everybody in their pocket all the time, it seems like we should be able to figure anything out. But that doesn't mean I'm giving myself surgery, and it doesn't mean I'm treating my own broken arm. I still go to a doctor, even though I could probably Google and get YouTube videos on how to put a cast on. But it's not going to show you the individual circumstances, and people won't have the knowledge of how an individual court operates. They're not uniform across the board. A jurisdictional difference is very important in every case. It's important to have a handle on what jurisdictions care about which elements of the law and which ones really work the best in specific jurisdictions. They're not uniform across the board. What works in one jurisdiction doesn't necessarily work in another one, and they each have their own individual rules and procedures for how they file things and how they process things. It's important to know that a city court's not necessarily going to handle something the same way a county court will. A city attorney is not going to handle something the same way necessarily a county attorney would handle something. And by that, I mean the city attorney who represents the city and the county attorney who represents the state. I've been in court a lot now. I've sat in court and I've watched other people do it for a long time. So I take notes and I keep mental track of what works and what doesn't work with specific people. What works with one person isn't going to be the same as what works with a different person. Every human is going to have a different reading and interpretation of the law and the rules.